Well, what do you know? There are, in fact, radioactive dice. I thought I just made it up. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM. It's 9 o'clock in the morning here at Site B on another foggy August morning as the month slowly churns towards its end, which means it's time to start thinking about Halloween. Nothing says Halloween like dice. That's right, it's Dice of the Day. Every Thursday, we take a moment to take a breath from all the weirdnesses going on and just make fun of dice and other useless tabletop role-playing game products, which is something I do anyways. So last week, I postulated the existence of radioactive dice, and I was like, somebody has gotten to do this already, right? Well, I couldn't find any. Well, right after one of our subscribers said, well, there technically is radioactive dice. They are called Tritium dice. Tritium is, from what I've been told, a radioactive-like material that is used to provide lighting in like scopes and stuff, gun scopes and other things. So the light that is being provided by this dice is technically a radioactive isotope. Well, let's face it, everything is a radioactive isotope. Everything has a half-life. Everything eventually breaks down, but 99% of the things that have half-lives and isotopes can't give you superpowers or mutate you or kill you. So this is an actual glowing radioactive adjacent material that they have used to make these dice. Why? I don't know, because they glow in the dark. Other than that, I guess just they're cool. You know, you could just say, dude, my dice are radioactive. I mean, they're only $600. $600 for two of these quasi-radioactive dice. So just think of the clout you could have next time you go to a game and you're like, but damn, look at these. They glow in the dark. Dude, we're sitting in a lit room. I'm not going to turn off the lights just to see your dice glow in the dark. No one cares. But damn, they're radioactive. Oh, well, now, yeah, I really want you sitting at my table with your radioactive dice because I've got kids in the other room who are now going to sprout wings. Thanks, Professor X. It cost me $600. Blam. Well, what about the $600 you owed me, Steve? Huh? What was the point? But hey, it glows for decades. Says right there, glows for decades. Has a decade's worth of a half-life. So you might not get superpowers from it, but there's nothing saying that if you hold them long enough, your kids might not. Radioactive dice, because, yeah. Moving on, the cheese dice. Let's move on to the cheese dice, okay? So the cheese dice were announced about 2 or 3 months ago. So these are dice made to look like cheese. And they even come in a container that looks like a cheese container you might find in the market. Turns out they are not, in fact, made from cheese. Despite my disappointment, you cannot, in fact, eat these dice. They are not made from cheese. I do not believe they smell like cheese. If you lick them, they won't taste like cheese. They're just meant to look like they are made out of cheese. And I was like, well, what's the point? They're just yellow dice. I mean, now they're making cheese dice that have pips in them to look more like, I guess, string cheese or whatever, or, cheese. But except how well does the dice roll if it's got pips in it, you know? Okay, and look at this one. So we've got like these. They're supposed to look like, a chunk of cheese. I don't know how fair they roll, but they're supposed to look like cheese. Because once you have a dice for everything else, you might as well have a dice that somebody might mistakenly put in their mouth because it looks like cheese. Whose idea was this? Now, as somebody who loves cheese, can't eat a lot of it, like, most humans. What's the point? Well, I guess the point was just to be different and awesome and clever. But at the end of the day, there is no cheese dice. But there could be, because if we go to Amazon, never let it be said I won't push an idea to its most ridiculous possible conclusion. There are dice ice trays. So you could make ice in the shape of your favorite tabletop role-playing game dice for, I don't know, being clever or party, oh, there's a 20-sider in my drink. But with a little preparation, you could use these same molds for cheese making, if cheese making is your thing. And apparently it's not that hard to make cheese. You just have to write the time and the effort and the actual stuff. But, you know, people have made cheese at home. So you could use the ice mold to make cheese dice and have actually edible cheese dice at a party, stick the little toothpicks in them and be like, but damn, can I present you with a D8, sir? And then that guy's like, but damn, I see your D8 and here's a D6. And these are cheese. Next thing is you need crackers that look like players' handbooks. Use the 3D printer to print out with, you know, like cracker material, edible crackers that look like players' handbooks. And you put the piece of diced cheese in between the two pieces. Now I sound like Bill Cosby. In between the two pieces of the crackers that look like players' handbooks. And you've got the D12 cheese cider. Hashtag cheese cider. I'm copywriting that in the thing. So is this possibly the most ridiculous take? I thought the candy and the chocolate dice were pretty ridiculous. And well, we found radioactive dice. We found the most dangerous dice we can find with the barbed wire dice. So I guess now it's time to move on to other useless things like folders and stuff. If you got any weird dice you want me to talk about or you know about that I haven't covered yet, let me know. I think with, you know, the barbed wire dice and the cheese dice, kind of reached the end of how far we can milk this joke. I don't know. But we have figured out how to make actual cheese dice. And if you have a 3D printer, you could make crackers in this that look like players' handbooks. So you could do that that at a party or for snacks. It'd be clever. And we invented a word, cheese cider. So there you go. Next week, we'll start looking at useless D&D folders and comparing them to back to school. Because what else are we going to talk about on Thursdays? There's not a lot of tabletop role-playing game news. So, yeah. I mean, sure, I could just, you know, shit on other tabletop role players like everybody else seems to be doing lately. But that's for later in the afternoon. Have a great day. If you appreciate this content, you know what to do. If you have any weird dice that I haven't talked about yet, send me a link and we'll talk about them next week. Until then, that's it for this episode of Dice of the Day. Hopefully you enjoy this experiment. If you do, let me know. If you think I'm just wasting time and energy, let me know, because this is your channel at the end of the day. I'm just here to talk to you. I'll see you all later.